back with another GSC Invitational game. We got Nalorium on the top and Blightbringer on the bottom. Machamp on Lax. Machamp is not really an established lead, but if Cloyster can fish for early spikes on Lax, then Machamp can just fish for a Lax matchup as well. Goes Fori on Starmie. A good response to Machamp. Just Fori coming in to potentially catch a double or get spikes up. It's Cloyin on Lax. Lax might just curse up here. We see a Toxic early. Yeah, that's fine. Cloy's probably just going to go for spikes next, and the Snorlax can keep cursing up and doing what it wants. Okay, now we're getting into dicey territory. Lax is going to be slamming Cloyster hard. Cloyster does not hit back hard unless it booms, but Lax is out of boom range. After another turn of that, it will be in boom range, though. So do we see a rest? Do we see a body slam? No para? No para. So Lax is going to be out of range for Surf. So Cloy could boom here. It does. Blightbringer lets the Lax go. Thori does live Zapdos' Thunder. And it could just boom there. Maybe take out the Zapdos, because it's going to be really hard to keep up spikes against this Starmie. Para on the Raikou. Thunder Wave Zapdos. Okay, so Thunder Wave Zapdos forgoes the the ability of Rest Talking to just heal itself up over and over and be a threat while asleep to spread para on like everything, especially the Raikou and sometimes Lax. Marowak loves Parrot Raikou. It just feasts on it. Marowak is rather slow, really benefits from the para support from Zapdos. Starmie might have T-Wave too. The Snorlax could be Body Slam, all allowing Marowak to pick up some crucial KOs. Is it just going to be Earthquake switch out? Yeah, no need to take unnecessary damage. This Machamp is walled by the Starmie. Goes to the Marowak, anticipating a Raikou. He's racking up spice damage. He can get a free attack off here. And we see a Heracross. So it's entirely possible that on that turn, on turn 7, no, on turn 6, when the Cloyster surfed the Snorlax down into the explosion range, and I said it could rest there, is that this Snorlax just did not have rest. And it's the Curse, Body Slam, EQ, Self-Destruct set, which its goal is to bait and scar him as hard as possible and then blow it up, because Heracross is murdered by Skarmory. It just does nothing to it. Mega Horns bounce off, gets whirlwinded out, or Drill Peck. It's a nightmare and a half. But against everything else, Heracross is a pretty big threat. Takes that Marowak really nicely, only 35%. And the response is Gengar on the Heracross. Assuming Zapdos, he predicts Zapdos to come in. But now listens in his Gengar and is met with the Fori. We see a Mean Looks. This might be Perish Trap. Spikes up. Unless this Fori is HP Ghost, this is really, really going to be sad. So pretty much he doesn't... Yeah, it's going to be Toxic Protect. He's not going to do anything until the Perish turn counter hits 1, where he can probably blow. It's not unreasonable to, because then he loses his Gengar or he loses another Mon. Yeah. So now you blow up. 100% from Blightbringer. And taking out this Marowak, sure, Heracross staves it off, but Marowak just hits so hard that it's a threat. Anyways. Gets Gengar and Hera. Goes to Tar. So, even better. More, anti-Heracross resist pokes here. This Tyranitar can probably pursuit this Gar. Could just roar it out and free itself with the Perish Trap. Okay. So if we see a roar here, he wants to preserve his Tyranitar. And if we see more pursuits, he's just dedicated to getting rid of this Gengar or Crunch. So this Zapdos is completely walled by the Raikou. It's not getting through it. Lax is the only pressure against this Raikou. Starmie is not going to do much. Do we see a switch to Machamp here? And the double to Starmie? No, we see a rest. Starmie or Zapdos is just free on Machamp. Goes to Raikou because it threatens out both of them. But Blightbringer is getting chipped by spikes here, and Nalo is not. As a virtue of Zapdos' amazing flying type. Sleep Talk Thunder. Well, I said it could be Body Slam, but Thunder's another way to para. Could be Sleep Talk Body Slam with the Thunder, which is interesting. But that does mean Raikou has better odds against this Lax. So Raikou is looking like a big threat. Is it Sleep Talk? No. So it's probably Roar last. Champ on Lax gets double-edged. KO range. Lax is out of cross chop range. So he rests. So it might be a curse set. Which is nice, but like, Machamp doesn't do anything. Okay. Thunderwave, Whirlwind, probably 2 attacks after that. So a very offensive Zapdos. Heracross looks pretty scary here. With sufficient Sleep Talk luck, and not getting hit by a million Thunders, it can curse up and break this Zapdos with Mega Horn. Raikou, yep, just gonna roar. Roars and Starmie. Roriku's kind of terrifying here, because everything other than Lax is mortally afraid of its Thunders. Not mortally afraid, Zapdos takes a couple. But it does not like them, especially because this one's not gonna be resting. But everything... But, like, he can just keep roaring on the Snorlax switch and chipping the Lax. Does he get a para? No. It's a little bit of an awkward endgame, because this Raikou's absolutely terrifying, but it doesn't really break the Lax easily. And the things that break the Lax, the Machamp and the Heracross, don't fare well against the Zapdos, and in Machamp's case, the Starmie. So this Heracross is going to be Sleep, Curse, Rest Talk, and Mega Horn. That's what it does. It just curses up and murders things with Mega Horn. Like, unboosted, doing almost 40% to Lax. It's absolutely brutal. Lax can go for a safe double edge here. He needs to fish for a Curse or a Rest here. Still doing 45. He's out of range, and Lax is not in Mega Horn range. Does he get a Curse? No, just a Mega Horn. Double edge. You just have to hope for a good roll here. And that is not a good roll to be getting right now. But it's fine, he rests. So we're just going to see either a Rest or a Mega Horn. Is this Starmie Psychic is the big question. Because we've been seeing a few, and it's going to be sub. So, this Starmie is probably, could be the Nightmare Starmie. And it is Psychic. Yeah, this is just over. There's no way for Blightbringer to make progress against this team. Because Raikou is the only thing that will be breaking the Starmie's sub. And he can just spin, rests, but once Raikou rests, he loses all momentum because he's not Sleep Talk. Just going for hits, maybe get some drops, rest cycle him, because nothing else switches into Psychic. So this Starmie might just win right now. There's the T-Wave for the Marowak support. Interesting that Nalo does not have a normal resistant phaser. Or even, his phaser is Zapdos, which, like, Curse Lax is terrifying against that. Which makes sense why he boomed on, like, he, was so adamant on the 1-for-1 for Snorlax and Cloyster. In a game usually, that's usually a really good, trade to take. But some teams really just hate Snorlax. There's Mega Horn getting a crit, but this Starmie is still the big threat. Just means he's got Mega Horn misses. He needed to hit that. But he can just keep subbing down until Megahorn misses. And then there's still lax odds against it. No sub. Raikou outspeed, not outspeeds, speed ties here, so he is in danger of death, but he just rests. And now the ball is in Nalo's court. Sleep Talks Thunder, that wouldn't have done anything relevant anyways. Goes to Machamp. Is this gonna be Rest Talk? Can he do anything while he's asleep? Because a Cross Chop would be nice here. There is no recover on me, so a Cross Chop crit could make some decent progress, but he just curses. And again, he's in the problem of sleeping Raikou against his Psychic spamming Starmie. And eventually, he can just get dropped or crit because the Starmie is getting a million opportunities. Or he can just win a speed tie right now if he goes for it. He has to rest here because otherwise he will falter against the Starmie. Also, like, one of the reasons for Destiny Bond on this Gengar is because this Starmie is completely walled and trapped by Tyranitar. So Destiny Bond on Gengar helps ensure that you are taking the Tar out. Again, sleeping Raikou, Starmie clicking Psychic. And he's still not getting any drops. He's got 6 Psychics left. Just gonna go to Snorlax. Threaten Double Edges. Double Edges are pretty scary right now because it's hard to switch into. Now he needs a Curse or a Rest. Gets the Rest. He can just keep Double Edging for free. And it's just like, now, Blightbringer has to find something to put himself back in this game. Curse is what you want here. Okay, he needs to low roll so you don't get murdered by the Double Edge, and you need a Sleep Talk Rest here. Oh, well, sorry, he didn't need the low roll because he's faster after the Curse. Curse speed tiers are a little interesting. Okay, staying healthy. He wants more Curses with these. And it's really hard to switch to Starmie when he could just pull Sleep Talk Megahorn and your game is over. So, if this Heracross can break the lax, it's game for, it's probably Blightbringer's game. But if it can't, if the Snorlax hits a single crit, or just, Blightbringer gets too many bad rolls on Sleep Talk, like if he doesn't rest here, okay? I mean, doesn't get progress here. My tongue gets tied in a lot of these cyclic games. Just Megahorn. There's no reason not to click it. Starmie's gonna fish for the Megahorn miss. It's kind of what you have to do here. And if he gets the miss, then it's Psychic Town. And you have to hope to bust through this Raikou. He hits. This is gonna be his last chance to get a miss. Nope. Well, he's not facing this Raikou with a sub. Looks like he wants a crit. Like, it might just need to be crit territory. Yeah, he needed a miss crit. Or just this. Well, no, he needed to win the speed tie, crit Psychic, or lose the speed tie, not get hit by Thunder. Or, in this scenario, which is, it's better for the Raikou to rest now, for Nalo. So now he needs to burst through it with Psychic. Honestly, it might be better to go for Thunder on that turn where he rested, because Starmie Psychic is not killing you. You're giving Starmie leftovers now, so it can sub on you. And, you're only dead to crit. So you have a 70% chance to just win the game. And if you don't get the 70% chance, you still have a 50% chance to win the speed tie, and then get the 70% chance to hit. And this resting is just opening Blightbringer up to more crits, to drops. He might be trying to stall Starmie Psychics, which is fine and all, but like, that can just happen right there. Yeah. So it was kind of Blightbringer's game to throw, but like, if you're going to open yourself up to more turns for hacks to happen, then it's going to bite you eventually. And like, sure, he's got barely any psychics left. He's like 6 in the beginning of this engagement, and he goes down. He had 1 psychic left. But here's the problem: is let's see, is that you can just you can get crit. Like, if any of those psychics dropped, he's in for it. Like, it's done. Which we didn't see a single psychic drop in 15 psychics. So maybe thundering on the Starmie might have been a better way of closing out this game, but who am I to say? It's like, it's a dicey end game, and it's hard when you're the player to to just do the calculations on what the probability is, or just like, it's really easy to say, if he's not gonna crit me, like, it'll be just like, it'll be dumb if he crits me, yada yada. But that's just the game we play. So Nalo takes this game at the end. It was fun to spectate this, though. I do appreciate non-400 turn games. Okay. Alrighty. We're going straight into Game 2 of Nalorium versus Blightbringer. Chloe on Zapdos. Chloe switches out in Fear of Thunder. Thunder on Raikou. Do we get a para? No. Lax on Raikou. Do we see a para? No. Yes? Wonderful. Para on Lax is pretty nice. Like, losing turns is wonderful. Para on Cloyster? No. I've got a feeling that this is gonna be a little bit of a para spam game. So, Starmie means that spikes are not being maintained. He could have Toxic the Starmie, and that would allow him to force it to recover eventually, rather than just infinitely switching out of it. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. So yeah, he's just parrying everything. We've seen 3 para moves already on the first 3 Pokemon. We see a Skarmory, so we're probably seeing a Marowak in the end. Like in the final slot. Marowak fits well on some stall teams as just like a offensive sweeper in the end, and it loves para. Or this is just like a throw a Skarmory on offense because it's Skarmory and you don't like losing to EQ Lax. There we go, we see the Toxic on Starmie. This will allow Blightbringer to get up spikes, force Starmie to come in, double to Raikou, and then threaten it to like die to Thunder, and keep cycling that until Starmie comes in and has to recover, where then he can just make progress. Just gives another option to play. Double Edge is not going to do anything to the Skarmory. Do we see a Fire Blast? Thunder would be kind of interesting. Flamethrower, Surf, Ice Beam, anything for the Skarmory. Do we see another Double Edge? Nothing. Okay, we can speed it up a little more. This could be a long game. Drill Peck into Raikou. This Snorlax is probably walled. Chloe. This is Starmie. Do we see a double out to Raikou? No. Do we see go to Raikou? No. But we do block the spin with Gengar. So, Gengar could be switching out in Fear of Psychic here. Doesn't want to be T-Wave. Just predicting a switch. Again, T-Wave on everything. is what Nalo's game plan seems to be. So there's the Fire Lax check. Gonna stall out this Lax. So yeah, this Lax is not making too much progress. Cloister here, just gonna threaten Toxic or Boom. We don't see what it does. Some people asking some probability questions in the chat. Okay, Gengar on Miltank. Miltank is just can't ever do anything to Gengar. Ice Punch in his Zap. Raikou's are free. And we see Quagsire instead of... Yeah, that makes sense. This team is not the most sturdy against electrics. And Quag helps that up, but it also really benefits from the Para, and it is a similar Mon in the vein of Marowak, where it goes for the sweep at the end with the 999 attack stat ground. So, if he can find a way to remove this Quagsire, Raikou becomes infinitely more threatening, because then the only thing staving it off is the Lax. Cloister's gonna switch out here. Okay. Just 10 powers, maybe fishing for, just to get a little bit chip on the Quagsire. It's gonna be really hard to force damage on the Quag, because it's really challenging to get spikes up. And the best... Ooh, Toxic Scarm. So, Toxic Skarmory... Traditional Skarmory is Drill Peck, Whirlwind, Curse, Rest. So you don't... the Whirlwind is so you can phase out Lax, and Curse is so you don't lose to last Mon, Curse Lax. Toxic Skarm usually drops either Whirlwind or Curse. So, landing Toxics on Keymons like Miltank, especially Starmie. Mainly if you can hit a Toxic on Starmie, you can keep wearing it down, and eventually, the only way to counteract that wearing down is Miltank's Heal Bell, and Heal Bell has less PP than Toxic. And then after, say, all Heal Bells are burned, and Starmie gets Toxic, then what you can do is just keep threatening spikes with Cloister, forcing the Starmie to come in, doubling to the electric, or just going to the electric on the spin over and over and over and over again until the Starmie has to recover or die, and then you just go to the electric and you preserve Spike. Belly Drum here just gets phased out by Skarmory, but Skarmory is getting weakened. T-Wave blanks on Lax. Goes to Miltank. So, Skarmory is getting dangerously low. Once that Skarmory rests, it's going to be pretty scary with the Quagsire. Does we get Toxic? Yes, we do. Goes to Lax. Miltank's probably coming in here, or Skarm. Yep, maybe you should have cleansed the Toxic. But yeah, he's threatening up spikes, and he can keep forcing these loops. Okay. Just surf the Cloister, because getting chip on Cloister will, if you can keep hitting Cloister over and over again, it can't force these infinite loops forever. It will get worn down faster than the Starmie will be with the Miltank Heal Bell support. Double Edge doing a cool 436 to Milk. It looks like Blightbringer is just struggling to find a way to make meaningful progress. Is he Toxic again here? And we see a pair. He's probably Toxic. Basically, what he's doing is right. Well, not... Far be it from me to say that any move at a Pokemon game is objectively right. But continuing to force Miltank to burn these heal bells. Continuing to toxic this star is allowing him to eventually put on up spikes if this continues to happen. Long-term thinking here. He's facing a stall team. He has the tools to eventually break it, and it's just maneuvering through the pathway, like it's pathing to the victory, which is really hard to do because stall teams are pretty good. They're able to play, it's usually, like, so not always flexibly, but they're able to cover so much and just they perform well. Okay, we're gonna see spikes, double twin electric, para. So yeah, Starmie is slowly being chipped. That's another thing that Starmie's recover is 32 PP in this generation, which is kind of nuts. Okay, so now we're seeing some variants. We see a para, yes we do. This Raikou might have to rest shortly, which Snorlax takes advantage of. Snorlax could be completely blanked by the Skarmory, and it might just be that. But yeah, he's getting some crucial more leftovers on Skarmory. Anything to prevent this Skarmory from having to rest, and that rest being taken advantage of by a belly drum from the Quagsire. Because that's the biggest progress maker that Nalorium can just force. As soon as he clicks belly drum, the forced response is something that doesn't die. And he gets a hit off against, like, if he comes in on a resting mon. And he doesn't have to, like, belly drum soon. Ooh, para here could be, this is a little dicey. We see 2 belly drummers. We see a curse. It's body slam, which might not kill. Yeah, he just switches out. And he stays in on double edges. Nice. Let's pull up the calc. Alright. So, pull up the calc. We're gonna check how much, like, if it was a risk for Blightbringer's Snorlax to stay in and go for the double edge against the belly drummed Lax. So, Lax, or Snorlax, Drumlax. Doesn't super matter which ones you click, and Snorlax, Curse Lax, because this one will have double edge. Now we're gonna go +2 attack, +2 defense, +6 attack. Okay, yeah, he was completely safe to just double edge away here. It wasn't, like, unless he gets parried, then he's fine, and he can kill the Lax. So, that was the obligatory calc usage. No, not obligatory. The calc is a wonderful tool. Now, let's return to our game. And let's vary up the music a little bit.
You don't need a...
Alright, so. Double edge into Skarm. Maybe another double edge will just hurt it a little bit. Does he have anything that he can hit the Skarm, though? Has he been hiding it? Because if he was hiding a surprise like Thunder or Fire Blast or something, then he has suddenly a new avenue of pretty good pressure. No, he just rests, keeps Snorlax healthy. He's gonna get phased out here. Just goes to Raikou. Not gonna get phased out, just drill pecked. If this Raikou Sleep Talk, it forces the Quagsire. Oh well. No hidden power, ice or water into the Quag. Goes to Skarmory, preempting the belly drum. He's out of range for the hidden power rock. Drill peck. Hidden power rock. This Quagsire is now forced out. He's gonna have to come and heal up that Quag later. Yeah, and he can rest to stay healthy. Now, there's a pseudo bit of... Ooh, that's a nice one. He was aiming to catch the Gengar there. But yeah, no. Blightbringer just wants to burn these sleep turns as fast as possible to prevent the Quag from coming in, healing up with a rest, and then getting heal belled by the milk tank. He potentially could have Toxic to the Drill Peck the Quag, but we end up in similar lines. So Body Slam on Skarmory is, like, the para is a pretty big deal, because if he can maintain this para, then what happens is the Quag is faster. So if it belly drums, then it gets 2 hits off on the Skarmory before the Skarmory can react. If, presuming that it either curses, like, it switches in, like, yeah. Or if the Skarmory whirlwinds. It just has more opportunities. The Skarmory can get parried down. Not parafligged, because Quag doesn't get Rock Slide. Just, again, double-edging into the Skarmory, not able to do anything to it. It would be really interesting. Like, we don't, like, what is the last move? Is it Boom? Is it Surf? Ice Beam? Bless me. I had to sneeze. Okay, let's speed this game up. Might be a little while. Don't want to sit here all day. Just Drill Pecks into the Zapdos. Snorlax on Raikou. Does he Belladrum here? Does he just... Again, EQing, hoping for the Gengar. This Gengar could potentially, like, if it can chip down the Zapdos and nail something with Boom, then we can make some progress. But yeah, no more attempts have been made to try and get spikes up. Gengar always just gets a free turn whenever the Milk Tank comes in, and that's big. So, Crit could just be healed off, but Ice Punch Freeze nuts in GSC. Really, really hard to thaw out of, and that means it's going to be harder for Nalo to heal up his Quag, or for Starmie to make progress. Not to make progress, to always maintain the no spikes on his side of the field. Just keeps Thunder Waving. Chloe keeps getting parried. Finally pulls the recover. Spikes come up. Gonna switch to an electric, or is he gonna just spike again? Is he gonna surf it? He's gonna spikes, is he gonna surf? Is he gonna electric? No, spikes. Gengar just deny it. Does he go back to Chloe? Does he go to electric? Does he go to relax? Goes to relax. So he go back to Skarmory. And Skarmory is slowly being chipped down, but it's unlikely that he will be able to break it. Spikes? Yep. Do we see Lax? Do we see Electric? We see Boom. So, he gives up attempting to get Spikes, and in return for removing Starmie, which, like, Gengar's a little stronger, like, a little more scary now, because it doesn't have the pseudo-revenge threat of Starmie coming in and parrying it, which would be really bad, because then Quag just picks it off. Lax just picks it off. Zapdos has even better, like... Ice Punch into Quag. Does Quag... Yeah, has to rest if he wants to keep it alive. Does he Boom on it? Wonderful. As you see there, Gengar's Boom denies the turn, because as soon as the Pokemon dies, it's over. And we see Curse Star. That's a big threat. I don't know about, like, Skarmory's resting, and it's hard, like, you have your mons resting, maybe Drumlax is not breaking through this, so this Curse Star is really scary here. So what Nalorium is doing is being like, please unfreeze, even says in the chat. And he finally thaws. So he gets roared out, Zapdos comes in, does he just Thunderdome? He goes to Milk Tank, he's gonna eat a meaty Rock Slide. Does he just Milk Trick again? Get roared? Lax. Does he just EQ? No, he goes Milk Tank, gets Rock Slided. Is he gonna milk shrink? Is he just gonna keep completing the cycle until he misses rock slide? Now he can growl. And this T-Tar is pretty much neutralized at this point. Goes for the heal bell. He could have gotten, like, he's been in range for a crit a lot of times. No crits. Heal bell means this Quag is actually not completely forlorn. We're gone. No crit. Goes to Snorlax. He's just gonna double edge. He's gonna curse. Okay, curse. Yeah, Scarm is now full, so this Tar and Lax are just not a threat anymore because the Skarmory got heal belled. Raiku's getting chipped. So that timely thaw might have just saved Nalo and given him the game because he got the opportunity and the miss, of course, and no crits. But this means that he might just have this game sold because all the progress that has been made has amounted, created the opportunity for the Milk Tank to get bursted down by the rock slides. It created the opportunity, Skarmory got low and had to rest. Quagsire got low, rested, and then got chipped down to 23%, blown down to 23. So now he just needs a bajillion crits to bust this Skarm out of existence. No sense staying in here. You go to Lax, yeah. But he doesn't have spikes, so he can't force meaningful progress with each of these switches. And it might just be attempt to PP stall or something. But I don't know what you do as Blightbringer. You don't have any Ice Punch Freeze. What is the last move on this Lax? Is it Ice Beam? Because if so, you fish. Is it something? What is it? Okay, did I get to hyper fast? No para. Ball's in Nalorium's court, and Blightbringer has to figure out a way to do anything about that. Quag just rests, can get heal belled by the Milk Tank, or he can just burn the turns himself. Quag comes in on this Skarm because Skarm is forced in by Lax, and then Quag comes in anyways. So maybe crit does not help. Blightbringer has to hope for misplays from Nalo. Nalo just has to close this game out. And then he might take this set 2-0. Certainly a Haxie series. Some meaningful crits. Meaningful thaws and crits in the first game. Thaw in the second game. Belly Drum, EQ does not kill, but Double Edge Recoil does, and this is over. This is just over. Yeah. I don't know what he can do anymore. Okay, forfeits. Turn 204. Nalorium takes the game, takes the set 2-0. Thank you for watching this GSC Invitational match, and until the next one.